Good morning, everyone. I have to apologize to each and every one of you that I'm recording at 8:45 and not 9 a.m. I'm afraid when I was younger, I remember being a kid, I'm sure we all remember being in Cheder, and one of the first songs that we were taught in Cheder was Hashem is here, Hashem is there, Hashem is truly everywhere. Up, up, down, down, right, left, and all around. Well, I'm afraid I'm not God and I don't have these capabilities. And therefore I find myself, it's meant to be holiday time, so I'm reminded by my kids, and I have to be somewhere at 9 o'clock this morning, so apologies, but hopefully you'll get this recording, still be able to learn. Today's learning is dedicated in memory of Ami Bas Aryeh, Paul Casimir, Shaul ben Shlomo, Yomio Yechiel ben Moshe Eliezer, Shlomo ben Yechiel ben Moshe Eliezer, Ben Sion ben Yitzchak, Aryeh ben Shimon Leah Bas Vaiva Avram, Mordechai ben Moshe Katna, Menashe ben Tzvi Zalman, Menashe Ralia Bas Avram Pinkus, and as well as, hold on one second, just going to get another name somebody sent me. Bear with me. Moshe Binam ben Tzvi, and today's is the 12th. So the following: Gila Bas Avram Cable, Reuven ben Yitzchak Sasson, Esther Bashalom Shachna Valach Luft, Henry Howard, Gila Bas Avram Cable, Eliezer ben Shmuel Teret, and we wish all their families long life, and the family of Peter Dinnerstein, who of course the Levaya is today. Peter was such a dear friend, together with Barbara, with so many of our community, and we sorely miss him. And of course Barbara, we wish the family much strength and long life, as well as wishing also Hilton long life. I know he is sitting Shiva in Perth, Australia, wishing you much strength. Okay, so a brief idea, if I may. Good morning, Michael, Rebecca, Martin. You're not meant to be here. You're too early. You're very over-enthusiastic. Teacher's pet. Okay, I'm meant to be recording this on my own, and then you'll watch it at 9. Anyways, so the idea is as follows. You know, in the lead up, we already mentioned, in the lead up to Rosh Hashanah, we have a tradition of saying twice a day, Ledovid Hashem Ori, right? The Lord is my salvation, my light. Now that is said by Ashkenazim. We say it in the morning and in the evening. Sephardim say it in the morning and afternoon. Okay, and one of the most famous lines, and I think perhaps the highlight of that beautiful psalm that I highly recommend you saying for any type of salvation that you need, is as follows. King David says the following to God: one thing, right? One thing I ask of you, God. Shivti beveis Hashem kol yemei chayai. I just want to sit in the house of God all the days of my life. Lachzos benos Hashem levaker beheichalo, and I want to visit your sanctuary. Now, anyone, right? Even if you're not learned, anyone who's observing that statement, that passage in Psalms, will see a glaring inconsistency and contradiction. Again, King David starts out by stating, you know what? One thing I want from you, God. You know what that one thing is? I want to sit and have peace and sit in the house of God, just to be able to daven, to learn, to pray, to meditate in peace and quiet, without any distractions. Isn't that what we all want? Anyways, what's the next thing he says? I want to come and I want to visit it. Well, how can you say you want to visit the house of God? If you're sitting there, if you're dwelling there, if that's your second home, right, the house of God, which is what King David is suggesting, then why would you visit when you're already there? If that's where you are, then you don't visit. You don't visit your own home, do you? I hope not. So the answer to this conundrum is quite simple. It reflects the two, I guess, psyches that we are meant to have when it comes to service of God in general and the high holy days in particular. And that is, on the one hand, what we are asking for God is that we want to we're committing to living lives that are more committed and more consistent. In other words, it's not sporadic Judaism, you know, where I have all of a sudden I have a feeling, I have an inspirational moment, and therefore I do something. No, we want to live lives that consistently, day in, day out, I am going to affirm my commitment to serve God. It doesn't matter. I'm not a fair weather Jew, whether it's sunny, whether it's rainy, whether I'm in the mood, I'm not in the mood, whatever's going on in my life, I am going to continue on the trajectory and on the course that I have committed to. More and more people are coming in early. This is a disaster. You're not meant to be here till 9 o'clock. This is a pre-recorded version. I'm joking. Of course you can be here, but the others will be upset. Anyways, the second aspect of being Jewish is that if that's all Judaism is, right? If it's just, I've got my routine, I've got my habits, I've done the same thing for the last 60 years, this is it, okay? Then that becomes habitual Judaism, okay? My language, habitual Judaism. And the problem and danger with that is it becomes very robotic, very ritualistic, and we're just going through the motions. And therefore, there is a second aspect which counters that. And that is to see everything anew, afresh, as if this is the first time I am doing it. So that's why King David says, on the one hand, I want to be sitting in the house of God every day. That is what we want, to have that consistency, that wherever we are, doesn't mean literally in the house of God. It means wherever we are in life, we feel that we are in the house of God, that God's presence is with us, that we are living godly lives. But then there is the second aspect. What's the second aspect? But I'm going to feel and have that mentality as if it's the first time that I'm doing it, like I'm a levake behechalo, I'm a visitor. Okay, there is these seeming contradictions, but they're not. They're two aspects, two sides of the same coin. We need that consistency, that habitual Judaism on the one hand, that it's not just inconsistent, but we're doing the same thing day after day, week after week, year after year. But on the other hand, if it's just that, then it becomes we lose the spark, the excitement, the mojo, and therefore it's important that we have the second aspect that King David says, which is a levake behechalo, to be like a visitor. Okay, so those are the two aspects, and obviously that is the prayer, the heartfelt prayer that we all have as we approach the high holy days, renewing our commitment to our faith, to our beliefs, to our people, and to God. So please, God, I apologize again for those that are coming in late, but really they're early because we're only meant to start at 9 o'clock. I did mention at the outset this is meant to be with no one on it, just pre-recorded. I apologize. This is just because I can't. It's holiday season, and I can't be in I can't be all things to all people in all places, and I have to be somewhere shortly. So that's it for today. If you just coming in, then you can watch it. It's going to be up in 1 second. All right. Have a great day. Please, God, we'll be back normally tomorrow.